Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathen, that look like the heathen, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth, and I'm going to correct this guy who came like a sheep was really a wolf. I was having a discourse with this brother Bishop Melchizedek. And we were having a discourse back and forth, but then he made a response video being very, very disrespectful. All right, now had I known, like I said, we were having a discourse back and forth, and there was no disrespect between us. But then when he does his video, he's being very disrespectful. But that's neither here nor there. It's going to prove him wrong out the gate. He broke down Deuteronomy 21. I asked him to break down Deuteronomy 21st chapter, verses 1 through 14. And he did. And he did a fairly good job, except for the fact that he's condoning adultery. All right, because even your enemy now is still under the law. Your neighbor. A neighbor, that would almost be like two heavyweight boxers who have, or two MMA fighters or whatever, who got contention with one another, and just because they had a fight that and one loses, right? He now has the right to go on into to the guy's, his opponent's wife. Man, that's off, and that's basically what he's teaching. He's teaching it's okay if your enemy is another Israelite, that you can go on into his wife. And the guy also, as you're going to hear him say with his own mouth, that, when the scriptures clearly say, thou eyes shall see thy teachers, and it gives a breakdown of how John the Baptist would come back, and bring this truth back into the world, to Israel. But yet this guy's going to say out of his own mouth that he didn't wake up to any camp, that he woke up through a dream, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and learned how to go precept upon precept and use the blue letter and the Strongs all by himself. This guy is a liar. This guy is a liar. He's a piece of shit liar, man. But let's let him speak, and then I'm just letting him speak a little bit. And this video is called Straight to the Point on this channel. Many of his videos are that, a call that straight to the point. But the guy, he also has a lack of understanding of history too. But let's let him speak.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Yashara'Allah, sin by these things? What was it considered? A sin. What was it considered? A sin. So in Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 1 through 14, why would God send us off into a land and war against captives of another nation in that context, and then deem it okay for us to sit there and marry their women?
So basically what he's saying is that was Israel going to war with itself, and that's not true. That's not true. And then he said it was a sin. And Solomon's sin was that he began to worship those women's gods. He began to follow after their ways, about their false ways. That is where the sin wasn't. Solomon did not sin when he married his 300 concubines, who were mostly of Ammon and Moab. Then he also, let me speak a little bit more.
He said it was a sin here in Nehemiah 13 and 26, and then we go back to Deuteronomy 73. It's the same damn sin. Why would God cause us to sin? Oh, I get it. You niggas teach it. God controls both sides, right? He teaches man to sin. Oh, God put the spirit on the nigga to go off. That's what y'all teach. Let's go get it. Let's go get it, man. I'm sick of the dumb rhetoric, man. No, I'm not one West and never was. Nor was I woken up by any one West school. I was woken up by the Most High niggas through a dream.
You hear this?
Praise to the Most High. That's why I give all praise to Call out Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Damn it. That's why I do it. None of you niggas woke me up, man. None of you. Not Nail Kemp, not Nail Kemp nigga. None of you. I can proudly say that in the spirit of the Most High, man.
So basically he's proudly speaking a lie, because that's not prophecy. And so he's got a problem with camps. He wasn't only, throwing shade toward Great Millstone. He was throwing shade towards all the camps. Any men that group together to stand for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And there's a lot of righteous brothers out there. There's some brothers who got it wrong. There's some brothers I disagree with. But one thing I can say for them is that they're standing up boldly in the face of their enemy. This guy is one of them keyboard warriors who never shows his face, who doesn't go out, he doesn't teach, he's not out there in season and out of season. So I'm gonna read not all of, but most of Numbers, the 31st chapter. All right, because he said that Solomon basically committed a sin, that it was a sin for Solomon to have, because Solomon had 1,000 wives. He had 700 Israelite wives and 300 concubines of the heathen nations. Oh, and he also said something about in Nehemiah, the Ashdod, the white Jewish people, where this guy really lacks history. He also mentions in this video too that English, none of us never went to England, but many of us speak English. Well, that means you don't know much about King James, the angelic sons of Isaac, the Anglo-Saxons. The Jacobites were all Negroes, and Jacob is the form of all things. King James, who was a so-called Negro, this is just for your own records, bro, so you can learn. All right, because even though I'm you're a little piece of shit right now, you still could be redeemed. And but King James had the Bible translated from the Latin, which clearly is an Edomite language, to the English, which was a language which was actually created by Jacob. All right, just like the music was created by Jacob. The music that they loved in the Renaissance so much, Bach and Beethoven, and and all those people were so-called Negroes, man. So you stand corrected. You stand corrected. All right, the King's English, all right, was actually created by so-called Negroes. And the evidence that Negroes were ruling during that period of time is correct. But in the time of Nehemiah, when he talked about Ashdod, when he was talking about Moab, Ammon, and Ashdod, people in Ashdod were not so-called white people. It wasn't the Amalekites that are there today. So he tried to say that the bastards there today, are the same people, and they weren't, and not in that time period. So you were wrong there. But let's read to put to rest what you're talking about, because basically what he's doing is saying, if you have an enemy among your own people, then it's okay for you to go into their wife. So this is an adultery doctrine. He's complaining about this perceived rape doctrine when he's teaching and agreeing with an adultery doctrine. All right, so this is Numbers 31:1, and it reads, "And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward thou shalt be gathered unto thy people." So who is the subject matter? The Israelites versus the Midianites. Keep that in mind. "And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto war, and let them go up against the Midianites, and avenge Yahweh of Midian. And of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. So there were delivered out of thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, and the thousands of every tribe, and them of Phinehas, the sons of Eleazar the priest, to war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand." So all tribes went, including the Levites. "And they warred against the Midianites as Yahweh commanded Moses. They slew all the males. They slew the kings of Midian, besides the rest that were slain, namely of Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, and the 5 kings of Midian, Balaam, and the sons of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took spoil of all their cattle, and took all their flocks and all their goods. And they burnt their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both men and beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp of the plains of Moab, are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the prince, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of hosts, with the captains over thousands, and the captains over hundreds, which came from battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation. Therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by slaying him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Bishop Melchizedek, you are found to be guilty of lying and not understanding the scriptures. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Abashai Ba'ashem Rakak Badash Wa Ababa Bal Kwam Yasharala Shalom.